Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Insert Name Here. It's a podcast about nothing for nobody. If you take it seriously, you're redacted. Let's start the show. Hey,
What's up?
hello, and welcome to Insert Name Here. It's a podcast about nothing for nobody. If you take it seriously, you're redacted. I'm your co-host, Doug Bennett.
And I am your other co-host, Seth Natra. Welcome to this recording of INH Podcast on September 8th, 2024. Yes, exactly. There's a beautiful summer breeze blowing through, and the temperatures in the area are starting to cool down a bit.
The chance of clouds later this afternoon, followed by a week of rain as we see 40% to 50% showers across the region.
Followed by, you're gonna drown if you go outside.
The deluge, we're living in the end times. I've been up to the third heaven. I've jacked into the main plan. It's beautiful. I just want to be on the team. Put me in. Let's go. These demons are coming.
40 days and 40 nights, brother. I'm ready for it. Are you? Come on down to Noah's Ark gift shop, or we can get you some of the finest arks you've ever seen in town.
2-for-1 special on livestock.
Yeah. Can't promise they're both going to be female. There's a lot of homosexual sheep this time of year.
End times, it's just what we're doing these days.
It's fashionable, okay?
They put a paw print on the pride flag and we weren't allowed to say anything about it.
Oh, shit. Gay. Is that too far? I feel like that's too far.
I will say the Scottish were really excited about it.
Oh man, shots at Scotland to start the episode. Let's go.
Yeah, that felt like a safe one to start with.
Yeah, of course.
There's at least one other notable livestock fucking community.
Yeah, the rednecks.
Actually, no, the rednecks.
No, I wasn't going there. Yeah, it was a joke.
They take their livestock seriously in a completely other way.
We knew exactly what you're talking about, Doug. We don't need to.
Fill that one in for yourself.
Yeah.
You be the fucked up one.
Yeah, it's a crossword puzzle. Fill in the gap.
But yes, with that rip-roaring reveal, this is in fact Insert Name Here, a podcast about nothing for nobody.
Yeah, if you take it seriously, just do the whole intro again.
This is the intro that never ends.
Didn't we do that one episode?
We might have.
Wasn't there a gag one episode where you kept doing the intro over and over again?
It was I think a 3-episode arc where you guys did trick me one time, and then so I came back the next episode and like purposely restarted it like 3 times.
Yeah, there was one episode.
Just to be spiteful.
I don't remember, but it was hilarious. That's a great gag.
Oh yeah. I digress though. Anyway.
Yeah. Welcome to the video podcast, by the way, for any YouTube viewers out there.
Unless you're still on Spotify, the audience that we prefer and like better, obviously. Team audio on this side of the couch.
Hell yeah! I mean, are you saying that I'm not? Like I've been doing
I've
it.
decided your team video.
I've been doing it for 106 episodes, brother. I think I'm part of it. I don't know where.
No, I kid, but yeah, big things coming officially here in the 3rd year of the show. Always growing and improving.
I know, yeah, we're trying to expand. And that's good, right?
Yeah, speaking of growing and improving, part of that is testing one's knowledge. There's a correct answer to this hypothetical. So I want to know.
Yes.
Let's call it a superpower. Let's not get it bogged down in what kind of gear you would need.
Okay.
So, night vision or thermal vision?
Oh.
There's a correct answer here.
And I'm curious about what the difference is between. I guess there's a difference, right?
Massive difference, yeah.
Thermal vision lets you see objects that are producing heat, obviously.
Or not heat. Intense cold shows up as a lack of heat.
Right. And then what does night vision do exactly?
It depends on your setup, but just generically speaking, it picks up better on the photons that are present.
Okay, it like focuses on the light that
Yeah,
is
there's
there.
almost no natural total darkness, so...
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, because I was talking about this. Did we talk about this on pod? I don't think we did. But I learned recently why pirates wore eye patches. Because they had one eye that was ready to be in the sunlight, and they had one eye that was ready to be in the darkness when they went in their ship.
Mhm.
So they'd switch the patch. So they'd have night vision on demand.
You do?
And that was really, I didn't know that. That's so fucking smart.
Hey, yeah, I mean, this is not this episode, but the world of pirates and piracy, it might be one of the coolest period. It's going to be the coolest period of time until we get into space and we can start doing space piracy.
I feel like pirates is kind of like cowboys. Was it like a short amount of time?
Not so much. It was like a lot longer, to be honest.
Because like cowboys in like the West, like that we see in the movies, that was like 30 years or 20 years, right? But this is pirates were I guess longer, huh?
Yeah, if you think about it, like 1492,
Columbus sailed the ocean blue, yeah.
and there wasn't really colonialism until at least like 150 years after that. And it wasn't until sort of the French and American revolutions that piracy was starting to fold in on itself. Although at that point in time it had become more so legitimate. Like a lot of people don't know this, but the East India Company of Pirates of the Caribbean fame, if you're a Jerry Bruckheimer fan like myself, it was essentially a bunch of ships and a fleet that was built up from legalized pirates. They're like, hey, you guys are really good at sailing and stealing. How about you do it for the crown instead? And they were like,
We'll make a business out of this.
and they were like, tea and spices, yes.
Oh, not going to prison? Count me in.
So-
You scallywags.
Even cooler that Jack Sparrow got the better of whatever admiral that was. I can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, dude, who cares?
Because it was essentially it was a situation of like an authentic punk band versus a sellout like Green Day.
And what was that meme? Do you remember that meme where he's like, that's a pirate or whatever? Do you remember? The admiral looks through the thing and he's like, and then the meme is like, it cuts to whatever video. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Okay,
but
well-
I'm sure. I'm sure.
There's a great Pirates of the Caribbean meme that was out of that. Anyway, going back to your question then, your hypothetical. Thermal versus night vision, which superpower would I rather have?
Yeah. Then keep in mind, there's a correct answer here.
Which is insane to me. Like,
Are
how
you-
can there be a correct answer?
Are you smart enough to know this correct answer?
I don't know which one I would prefer. I think I'd go with night vision.
Oh, brother, no,
don't-
brother.
I'm trying to think what would be more useful to me in my daily life. I feel like if I didn't have to turn the lights on all the time, like at night, I'd be able to see better.
Okay, so
Thermal would be good if I'm like trying to spot a person or something.
yeah,
But I'm not really stalking anyone, guys. Promise I'm not stalking anyone.
hot new trend sweeping the nation as TikTokers go viral for stock challenge.
That's a real thing, though. Have you seen those TikTok videos?
No.
There's this one guy that's like, it's a joke, obviously. Well, a joke. It's fake, obviously. But the dude's like, yeah, I'm at my crush's house. He's like, look at
Oh,
there.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that one guy, and it was like, ugh, that's weird.
But no, thermal vision is 100% the correct answer here.
And why is that, Doug? Enlighten us.
It's for survival's sake. Now, keep in mind, when you're taking in the extra photons and low lighting it, there's not enough information for your brain to render finer details. Let's think about, for example, maybe warfare and between two like well-armed war-going nations.
Sure.
They're both going to be wearing similar digicams, and when you're not taking in enough photons to parse, actual colors, because they do tag up, like they'll throw a bright tape on and be like, hey, we're a blue team, don't shoot the blue team. This is a real thing they do. If you check out some cam footage, it's insane. But in low light, you're not going to be able to take in that color distinction, so there goes the friend or foe usefulness. Thermal vision, not only are you going to be able to see distinct heat signatures, outlines, bodies, but how close they are with relative intensity. You'll be able to make out their shape and orientation.
Yeah.
In a situation where you're not going to get a lot of details anyway, you get a lot more vital survivability details out of thermal.
I just want to say, Doug, I'm not going to war anytime soon, personally. I don't think.
What if we have apocalypse? What if we continue letting too many Haitians into the United States? And you have to.
Oh my God!
You have to join in the hunt for local geese and house cats.
Are we letting them in?
Yes, it's
Because their country collapsed.
20,000 this week just got flown into Springfield, Ohio.
I'm glad they're going to Ohio.
Very,
Nice.
very not skibbity.
Very not Phantom Tax.
And I mean, it sounds so insane, right? Until you see all these actual videos and then police body cam footage of them making arrests for the slaughtering of house cats and videos of people prepping geese in public parks.
Oh my God!
So
like killing like the wild animals just out in the streets.
Yeah. So if that keeps happening and we hit full-scale societal collapse everywhere, and you too have to go join the hunt, you're going to want to be able to see some heat signatures.
Very true. Very true.
So thermal vision is the correct answer here.
Yeah.
You can kind of only reach it if you divorce yourself from your own personal preferences. The kind of living we do right now, maybe night vision would be a little more goated.
Yeah, I'm talking about my personal life right now. Yeah.
Yeah. If we get Aristotelian with it, if we get Platonic with it,
okay.
Then.
But I did not know that about the Haitians. I did not know. I remember when we took immigrants and took them to Vermont or whatever, to where the liberals live, and they were really upset about it. And it's imagine living in Texas, dude. Well, unfortunate news. No comment last week, but maybe we'll have a YouTube comment coming up soon. So yeah, no comment last week, and this week I've been so incredibly just doing stuff. I did not really have time to formulate my big question this week.
Ooh.
I feel really bad.
Ooh.
Are you okay? Can we move on, or do you want me to come up with something real quick?
I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to turn the table on you, but
I mean, you kind of dropped one, but
it was more of a small hypothetical than a big question.
Yeah, it was more like here's my hypothetical for you.
If you think you can pull one out of the ether, by all means, brother, go for it.
Oh no, I'm ripping this hypothetical straight from copying it.
Okay.
When I snap my fingers, you'll never remember. Never mind.
Don't,
you already know
don't
what I'm doing.
Don't do someone else's bit.
I know.
You can take someone else's question, but don't take their bit.
I know. It's just. I almost did it, guys. I almost fucking did it. Oh. No. Okay, fine. I won't do it.
If you know, you know.
Okay. Would you... Okay, this might be interesting. Would you rather wrestle a alligator or crocodile, a really big one? Not well, they're all pretty big. I don't know how long it would be, but it's pretty long. That or a big python?
Oh man, I gotta go.
You're wrestling it. The mouth is closed. You're not worried about getting bit.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Then it's not fun if there's.
Okay, fine. You're worried about getting bit. I mean, the python or anaconda or whatever could squeeze you to death.
I could high diff. I could probably high diff a gator or a croc, depending on what region of the world we're pulling this reptile.
South America. Both of these creatures are found in South America, I think.
Okay, whatever. Regardless, I could probably high diff a gator. I am low diff losing to the python every time, personally, and most people are getting no diffed by pythons. It's nature's hydraulic press, man. They're constrictors. They lock in with the neck, with the bite, sure.
But they get around
and
to
fucking trash compactor in action.
Do you think you could wrestle it? You think you could get out of there?
They for the ones that actually kill bigger style game, they regularly find just popped out eyeballs from how hard they squeeze shit before they start throating it. So I'm not ever putting myself in a situation because I'm
all right. How about this? Imagine that you're Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I think he comes out of that, but he's still mid diff. On the power scale, even the Rock's gonna struggle with a Burmese or something sturdy like that.
Yeah. So okay. So we think you're saying the gator's is the easier challenge.
Yeah, I mean, if we go high school wrestling with it, if I can get top mount on a gator, and either apply forward pressure to the snout or rear naked choke it. Like once you're on top of a gator, you've kind of won. Even like you stop it from being able to rotate.
Yeah.
And once you're behind it too, like any of its lock-in power, because the main way gators go for kills is they lock you in.
Their jaws are
They
strong.
spin you to death. Like they're not so
Their
much.
tail's good too, though.
But
From
yeah,
behind?
yeah. But if like I say, if you can get into the mount, and it wouldn't be easy.
Right.
I might upgrade this to mid diff. I might go mid diff against.
No,
the
no,
gator.
but I get what you're saying. That you're still saying the gator's easier. There's a better strategy.
Yeah, there's an
than
actual
with the
out
python.
instead of I hope he doesn't pop my head off. Actual cause of death: subdural hematoma. Okay, for all you medical people out there who don't know that word, it's an explosion in your brain from pressure, usually.
Yeah, I think your rib cage would collapse first, pierce your lungs. I think you're dead.
Yeah. So there's just anybody who picks Python never watched Animal Planet. Let's put it that way. Like,
Gotcha.
Good one though.
Okay.
That was fun for me. I enjoyed that.
I'm glad, man. You sent me that. You sent me that podcast about silverback gorillas and a bear, which I think is hilarious to people that think gorillas can win. Like people, not like the podcast you sent me was like about 3 gorillas versus a bear. The discussion I've heard is 1 gorilla versus 1 bear, and I'm like, that does the bear wins hands down. People will say the gorilla wins.
Yeah, you have. Well, I blame that a lot on. I mean, obviously, it's just crazy how many people take television and film as truth.
They do.
Like that's one of the scariest realizations I've come to over the years. Is like, oh no, they think TV's real life. Holy shit! Oh god, no.
Actually, I've had to come to grips with that in my own life.
I mean, don't we all kind of? But then, I mean, it just is what it is. But a lot of people never have that realization. This goes back to only 20% of people do the thinking.
Yep.
So, you know, it is what it is.
Well,
But
they
yeah,
seem happier.
I mean, you got Donkey Kong as like the stand-up example of he always beats King K. Rool, so why couldn't he beat a bear too? Probably somebody's actual train of thought on that shit.
Yeah.
King Kong usually beats Godzilla, if I recall correctly.
No, it does not.
But you know, he's like King Kong is kind of like the monkey. You know?
Yeah. Like when you think of a big gorilla, you think King Kong. King Kong would destroy a bear. If King Kong existed, he would destroy a bear. Obviously, the thing is huge. An actual gorilla, though, is the size of a bear or smaller.
Much smaller.
And bears have claws, thick hides,
Yeah, I think most.
big sharp teeth. A gorilla has grip strength and like muscles and stuff, but like you take a gorilla out of its natural habitat and it dies. Like gorillas have a specific habitat in Africa,
Yeah.
and if you take them out and you don't put them in a zoo that has the same habitat, they're fucked. That's why they're are they endangered? I don't know. But
They're
the grizzly bear, you put it in the North Pole apparently. Was his name Joey?
Yeah.
Joey talked about.
Yeah.
Put him in the North Pole. He survives just fine. He just gets bullied by the other bears, but he survives just fine. Okay, the bear is not weak.
So no, bears are. Actually, if you get into the history of bears, it's crazy too. Like the root word for bear.
History of bears.
Yeah, because I mean, think about as like man as a species, as we grew into civilization, into language, all this stuff, and had to contend with the natural world as we began asserting our complete and total dominance over this entire planet. Humanity #1, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
But one of these root words in what a lot of people call the Proto-Indo-European language, although that doesn't really get close to describing it. But the word that shows up in every early language is like the us syllable or the
Oh,
os
like Ursa.
syllable. So like
Is
Ursa,
Ursa Latin?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But like that turns into Ursa, which is later than that, or
Yeah.
Oso or Us, and it didn't even really mean bear so much as it meant terror. Like these bears are out here being a straight up primordial force, like a manifestation of nature's rage itself. Like bears go fucking hard. People do not give the bear enough credit, if you ask me.
Yeah, true.
Or sometimes too much credit. Sorry, James Allen White, your show's not that good.
Okay.
Yes, chef. Wow.
call out post on my twitter.com.
You guys work at a diner and act like Gordon Ramsay. Wow, good TV. Actually, kind of is. I'm just being salty.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just over there going, holy shit.
My FX boys know.
Anyway, I think we should move into news a bit because we have a lot to discuss. Ba, 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 ba.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your INH 2024 United States presidential election coverage brought to you by INH Studios, live in the flesh at the desk. Your lead anchor, Doug Bennett.
And field correspondent?
Chief correspondent.
Chief correspondent, Seth Nacho.
All right, quieting around is the name of the game for politics this week as the two candidates prepare for the debate. Yeah, the Harris camp is just, they're really hyping it up as, oh, the Trumpers aren't going to be fair, blah, blah. They keep asking for all kinds of concessions. They wanted hot mics. They wanted it to be seated for obvious reasons. If you can fill that in there, or if you follow the show, you know why I would think that anyway.
Okay.
And they're not getting any of it. It's going to be the
Is it because Kamala's drunk? Is that why?
Yes. That's
She's
exactly.
topple over?
Yes, that's what I'm insinuating. Also,
She's worse than Joe.
Also significantly shorter than Trump. And meanwhile,
She's a woman.
Trump has successfully been like, no, we're not doing that. So there won't be hot mics. It's going to be turn by turn. So we won't get our because you'd be in jail moment like we had in 2016. But
I mean, I think that the turn by turn is more fair. It's fair because it gives each candidate a turn to speak, and the other one can't fuck up their talking.
yeah, I mean it worked out pretty well in the Biden one.
I think it did. I think it was fair. I think both sides were able to talk.
And then so no hot mics.
Because Biden would have been all over Trump like if there was hot mics.
Now listen, you're fat.
Like you really, he said, "You're a liar." Like, you called my son a fucking. What do you? I can't remember, but yeah. I didn't think we'd ever get to this debate, dude.
It's crazy.
I didn't like it. Like the other debate was what, in June or July or
End of June.
Yeah, so like we've been waiting on this one for a minute.
Yeah. Well, this is about when it would have happened.
It was supposed to happen now, yeah, but like September felt so far away then.
Yeah.
Now it's right here.
And it'll be like standing to podium style. Maybe not podiums, but
Who's
standing.
broadcasting?
ABC.
Who did it last time?
I think it was CNN.
Okay.
I think it was CNN, yeah.
Okay.
But standing, and then it was very funny. One of the X accounts I follow is someone who just essentially copy pastes everything that Trump posts on Truth Social. He's like, oh, and by the way, there's going to be no like standing aids, like nothing, no lifts to stand
Prompts?
on, no
Oh.
lifts to stand
Literally
on.
to help you stand.
Yeah,
Like a walker.
nothing to
or a
correct,
cane or
nothing to correct like height discrepancies or whatever.
like a shoebox or a dictionary.
Which is pretty slick. I mean, it is a psychological, visual kind of move. I mean, a pretty robust. I believe he's like 6'4", maybe, and Barron even taller. So
Trump is a 6'7", muscular man.
I got it.
Golden hair.
Trump height is something that I never wanted to bing, but I will.
I like that you're binging it.
That's how I get Microsoft points.
No, I know. You've mentioned this before.
6'2". So me and him are the same height, actually.
Yes, yeah, you guys are.
So yeah, as a fellow tall man.
Doug Bennett and Donald J. Trump are the same height at 6'2".
We're gonna add him to 6'2" Day next year. It'll be awesome.
Nice. He's included.
All my other 6'2" brothers of the world unite.
Yeah, rise up, brothers.
So, but yeah, huge visual psychological thing. A robust 6'+ guy.
Well, how tall was Hillary?
Hillary's a short stack.
Yes, and they debated just fine. Why is this a problem now?
I don't know.
So weird. They want to get Chapel Rowan up on stage, cheering on. Cheering on.
This is almost a foot difference. Harris is 5'4".
5'4". Yeah.
And just to round this out, Hillary Clinton. Let's throw her in here since we talked about it.
Sure.
She's 5'5". So you're actually about roughly the same.
They're the
size.
same, basically, yeah.
Might not be as big an issue as they wanted it to be in the first place. In fact, that probably could have been a reason. He's like, Hillary was that size, She did just fine. What are you, worse than Hillary?
What do you have less things to talk about?
Laughing Kamala, worse than lying Hillary. Beautiful Hillary, I call her now. That's right, beautiful.
No longer a criminal. I won't even put her in jail this time.
I don't think we covered that, but he did change that up. He's like, I call her beautiful Hillary now.
He really did?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So,
Did not know that.
Just goes to show you that if bipartisanship is something you value in a candidate, it might be.
And it's crazy because both candidates have changed from their parties' like usual stances to include stances from the other side.
Yeah. Like,
So like it almost is like this bipartisan, like I guess non-bipartisan. Is that the word I'm looking for? Does bipartisan mean that they're
bipartisan
separated?
means that they're together.
Okay, yeah. So like they're like yeah, it's like almost like a mesh. Like it's kind of interesting.
Non-bipartisan, the word for that is just partisan, which indicates that it's a split. Like there's distinct party differences. We've known for years. It's all theater anyway.
Yeah, it's all a show. Yeah.
But I digress. So, Harris was fighting for concessions. Trump was like, no, we're going to do it right. Actually, we're going to do it right. And all eyes on this upcoming Tuesday. News-wise, I didn't really see anything else. I guess you were made aware of some interview stuff. If you want to touch on that.
That was from like apparently it was from last week. Not so we should have covered it last week, but we didn't because it didn't really seem that important at the time. But I heard some news about it and I thought it was funny. It's really what I'm getting at. So CNN did an interview with Kamala Harris and then also with Tim Walz, and holy shit. What I heard about it was, so Kamala has said that fracking is okay now, which she previously said was not okay.
Drill, baby, drill.
In 2019, she was totally against fracking. Now she's okay with it. And then the interviewer was like, oh wow, so why did you switch your stance? And then the interviewer gave her answers. The interviewer was like, oh, did you change as a thing? Did something happen in your life? And she said, nope, I didn't change at all. She said, nope. Like, what are you talking about? You changed your stance. Like, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are we doing here?
Yeah. And then the Tim Walz interview, there was a part where the interviewer asked him about war or something. I cannot remember exactly what was asked about what war, or like in general, but Tim Walz's answer was, "We gotta stop shooting the kids." Like it was like, oh, that's not what we were talking about, bro. Like
Just textbook deflection.
yeah, he totally didn't answer the question. He just said, yeah, we gotta stop shooting kids. I'm like, okay. I think that's his way of saying he wants gun control. Because, like, isn't that what he tried to do or wants to do? Or whatever, so.
Yeah, lied about going to war to try and get an assault weapons ban.
Yeah, Tim Walz, gun control. J.D. Vance, family control.
Pretty much. So, yeah. I mean, I can't...
And he's the one that actually went to war, so.
Crazy, yeah. Actual combat veteran. Just to be clear, combat veteran means that you were in a place where combat was happening. Doesn't mean you saw action.
Yeah, it just means you were there. Yeah.
There is another level and a specific decoration you can earn that indicates that you saw live fire. It's part of the whole kit and caboodle of like you only get a Purple Heart if somebody shoots you, essentially.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But yeah. Well, it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to the aftermath of the debate, certainly.
Yeah. Dude, we are gonna have next week's episode's gonna be a banger. Like the last debate, didn't we call the episode the debate or something?
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna fucking call this one? The debate part 2?
Well, maybe we could. However, there was a distinct feeling, there was a distinct vibe going on that, like, I mean, that is going to be still one of the debates of all time. Like, that was monumental
The last
for the way
one?
that one shook out. Like, that was unprecedented. What a nightmare that ended up being.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully, if this one probably won't be as bad, so maybe it won't be as quite as.
Yeah. I mean, if it somehow manages to be a bigger deal than that one.
Yeah. This election cycle has been insane, by the way.
Yeah.
The political violence, the debate, like
Yeah.
the guy dropping out, we just pick a candidate willy-nilly, no primary.
Yeah, the rampant, easily disprovable lying. Like, is this just what we do now?
This is what we do.
I guess. But yeah, that should about cover it. Thank you to Chief Correspondent and signing out of election coverage at the desk. Your anchor, Doug Bennett.
Ba, 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 ba. Wow, so that was the fastest election news we've ever done.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I would love to keep trimming it down.
Trim the fat. Well, next week it's going to be not.
Well, it'll be news proper at that point anyway.
True.
So.
But
speaking of news,
yes.
I got one short thing.
No, of course.
That really came across to me as interesting, and that's going to be. I mean, I think you know. Do you want to venture a guess? This goes back to the roots of our show, the kind of stuff that I love to cover.
Oh, was there a shooting?
Yeah.
I heard about that actually. I think.
Yeah, fucking.
I didn't hear details though.
So a big one that happened at Appalachia High School in Georgia. I don't think it was in proximity to Atlanta. I didn't really look up the location. I barely learned the name of this.
Okay.
Very confusing shooting. Let's go into some notes here on it. These were compiled like the day after, and more since has come out, so bear with me here. I want to note that there was a very sloppy initial reporting period, during which 3 separate young men were identified as the potential actual shooter. They kept using the same name the whole time, but they couldn't figure out which kid was the kid, and then...
So different pictures?
Yeah, and then 2 of the photos ended up being actually photos of victims instead.
Ew.
But,
That would be terrible as
Yeah.
a family to see your child that died as the shooter.
yeah. But both...
Traumatic.
Both, like, you know, your alt media pundits and your mainstream outlets, everyone was in such a hurry to get this story out and have something to say about it that they were just running. There was, like, no journalistic rigor at all to this.
When is there ever at this point?
I mean, true, but I mean...
But when it's breaking news, you got to get it out, right?
Yeah. But ideally, you wouldn't break it until you knew.
Or you would just leave out the parts you don't know. You would say, we don't know what the shooter looks like.
But it especially got complicated when you consider what the usual school shooter narratives are. And there was a lot of specifically hard right people using... One of the victims was a black boy. But they were reporting that picture as alongside the name of the shooter. And they were really excited to spin that narrative of like, see, it's not just the white boys, it's not all Columbines.
Which is...
Yeah.
They're not wrong. There are black shooters and mass shootings, but they don't usually get classified like this. It's usually not at a school.
Yeah, and they usually get classified as white anyway. That's a whole rabbit hole we don't have time to go down right now.
Yep. Totally.
But it's, you know, dig into the,
I would say anyone can do a mass shooting, actually.
you know, imagine that, land of the free, cause of the brave.
Home of the guns.
So just really sloppy reporting, but it ends up being who the new prototypical mass shooter is, or at least the media and the alt media want the narrative to be for the kind of person that is always the one doing a mass shooting. Can you guess it? We've talked about this before too.
Wait.
Is it supposed to be a trans person or something?
Yeah. So this child did this
God.
shooting specifically because of their struggles around sexuality and gender identity. They were getting.
Do they have a manifesto? We might find out later.
No. This child was so poorly taken care of, and to me this is going to be the real point, but let me get there. This child was so poorly taken care of that I don't think they were capable of generating a manifesto. Mind you, the real reason that this specific shooting happened is because the FBI did nothing to stop this. And why can I pin this so heavily on the FBI? It's because the Atlanta office of the FBI came out in a press release the Wednesday. The shooting happened, I believe, on a Monday. They came out on Wednesday and they said, yeah, guys, this one's definitely kind of our bad. This individual's been on our radar for over a year. We have already previously detained and questioned them once in regards to a previous threat to shoot up their last school. And we've been keeping tabs on them ever since. And we kind of known that the situation was developing. We weren't quite sure when to take action on it yet. But they've been actively monitoring this kid for over a year. Did nothing to stop it, put no safeguards in place. I mean, I think gun laws in general are bad, and that we really only need one, the one that's in the Constitution, that we have the right to bear arms, arms being any kind of armament, for self-defense and defense against tyranny.
Yeah, like my long sword, I could have whatever I want.
Yeah, it's fucked up that you can't.
My Japanese katanas!
But when you have a situation where you've identified a high-risk individual. Maybe you make it so that his dad can't buy him a rifle for Christmas mere months after being detained by the fucking FBI.
Yeah, after threatening their last school, they were going to shoot it up. Maybe don't let them get a rifle after that.
Yeah, and not to
Did
mention...
they shoot? Did they do the shooting with a rifle?
Mm-hmm.
That's a slow shooting.
It was an incredibly fast shooting. And let's get into just how much this was allowed to happen. So not only did the FBI kind of take the bust for it and say, our bad, everybody in this kid's life knew what a risk he was. They were scared of him and for him. I guess if we're using what they were going by, they were using she, they, so I'll just say they. But they were well aware of what they were going through. And to the point where their mother knew the day of, as they were dropping them off, or getting ready to get them out the door, they're like, holy shit, this is probably the day. So the mom called up to the school and was like, hey, this is going to be a problem. Y'all need to like intercept this, get ahead of this, watch out.
Why did she have the school do that? Why didn't she just keep the kid at home?
It was probably too, like, do you put yourself in the mom's shoes a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to sick law enforcement on your child if they were just having a bad morning?
No, I would just take them home.
School where they don't have friends yet.
I would just take them home. Say, call it a sick day.
Parents don't have an option to do that, especially not this parent who is like, I mean, really a stepmom because his actual mom's on hella drugs and abuses the shit out of him and the entire family. Like this is
fabulous.
This is a broken fucking family.
This
kid was failed by every adult in their life.
Jeez.
Just at every step of the way. But the school knew ahead of time, like before first bell. And the response system that so many of our taxpayer dollars go to these school shooting response systems that tie into law enforcement locally. To try, like it was so muddled and congested and just not a functional system that they spent millions of dollars on, mind you.
Yeah, they just need a button under the principal's desk. You can just click and
like this kid shouldn't have made it to second period.
Yeah.
Let alone be allowed to leave the classroom to go fetch this rifle in the middle of class. So he leaves. 10 minutes later, tries to come back to his same classroom. His classmates end up clocking what's going on, shut the door on him, don't let him back into that room. So he's like, okay. Goes next door, indiscriminately, just not targeted, no agenda, just kills 4 people real quick, 2 teachers, 2 students.
Jesus.
And then immediately from that, doesn't continue doing any more shooting or violence, but like calmly and peaceably goes find where the sheriff is, turns themselves in. This kid didn't even...
This is a very weird shooting.
So this kid, I don't think they even really wanted to do a shooting. This is just like a play for attention, maybe their only way out of their situation that they're living in right now. And I mean, now they're going to spend the rest of their life in jail because they're being held and tried.
As they should.
They're being held and tried as an adult, which is pretty wild, but...
Well, the crime, the crime fits, or the punishment fits the crime.
Well, for sure.
If you take the lives of 4 people, you do not deserve to ever be out of jail, I don't think. I mean, maybe you find God in jail or something. But like, that's a severe crime. Can we agree that murdering 4 people is a severe crime?
I mean, some punitive thing has to be done here. Like the humanist side of me, I'm like the kid never got it. The kid never had a shot. They're still mentally a baby. They've been in survival mode their whole life. I think over the course of 10 to 15 years, with an actually rehabilitative system, like once you actually let them grow and mature and then cope with the trauma that they inflicted on other people, like there has to be some recompense. I think by the time you hit your 30s, I mean, people are living longer than they ever have. If we had an actual rehabilitative system to shovel somebody into, probably a chance to come back from it at the age of 14 when you've had no support whatsoever. But I do think it's appropriate to charge and try them as an adult. It's pretty fucking severe. Especially to do that so coldly and wantonly, like indiscriminately.
Psychopathic almost.
And then...
they could go to asylum maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they need.
I would,
mental illness.
Yeah, a lot of people need to be going to asylums and not jails, but different conversation.
Right.
The dad has picked up essentially a set of accomplice charges, being the one...
Getting the rifle?
Yeah, he made it. He purchased the rifle explicitly for this person who...
Are they planning on going hunting? What's going on?
Yes, yeah. So, and the rifle had even been used for hunting before. But yeah, just to have it on your radar of like, oh, my child's been questioned by the FBI for credibly threatening to commit mass violence, and they'd be like, definitely needs a gun. Pretty stupid, reckless fucking move.
Pretty terrible, yeah.
It just tells me that you don't care about your kid.
Instead of that, maybe get them some help.
Yeah, and the kid apparently had been begging for help from everybody in his life.
And I feel like the schools usually have counselors. You know,
Yeah.
like there was some sort of avenue for this kid, I think.
Well, I mean, not when...
That could have been better than
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, because what did happen was he got kicked around from school to school.
Right.
Never able to establish a counselor rapport.
That's the impression I got from you saying that their old school they threatened.
So just a whole lot of failure all around. I don't think... You certainly can't pin it on like the gender narrative when you look at all the other failing.
Right.
Even though people are trying to make it a gender thing.
Anytime that a person is slightly trans or there's some sort of trans thing going on, the trans community loves to make it all about that instead of focusing on actually what's being talked about. I hate to say that. That's a little fucked up, but it's true.
I don't know
You
about
make a joke-
I don't know
you
about
make
the
a-
trans community.
You make a joke about Caitlyn Jenner killing someone with her car, and everyone's like, "Whoa! Why are you talking about a trans person?" It's like, dude, I'm talking about a celebrity that killed someone with her car.
All right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you got me back.
Like, anytime you talk about just a trans person, like, they'll make it into a thing. But like, with that person in Tennessee, the manifesto that came out, they tried to hide that one because it was like, oh, they're...
So we are seeing a continuation of, I think the last set of parents to get tried was when we talked about the Michigan
Yes.
event.
Yeah, those parents were also at fault.
So
I didn't think they were at fault at first, but after the findings came out, and you said it again, I was like, oh yeah, they were at fault, yeah.
so that's
They knew it was going to happen.
So that's becoming more and more the status quo. We'll see if it changes anything or not.
I mean, and yeah, the dad certainly, I think the stepmom might be in trouble too, but I mean, she did tell the school to watch out, so I mean, I don't know, maybe she did her part.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do at that point?
Yeah.
But
She tried to do something, at least.
yeah, just like a weird.
You taking the FBI to jail?
Yeah,
They didn't do anything.
See, where's the accountability? Like, and why am I supposed to care about any of this? Like,
Accountability doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, accountability was always meant to see
It's
my
on
outro
the-
last
yes,
week.
Yeah.
But
Listen to last week's episode.
it just kind of, just how bizarre this situation is like a little bit black pilly for me, where I'm just like, how am I supposed to give a fuck about anything if like situations like this can go down? Like, how can I take any of this seriously? Like, nobody believes in anything. Nobody's willing to do any of the things they say they believe in doing. It's insanity at the
Right.
highest degree. But yeah, just weird shooting. And I think the moral of the story is, like, we as a nation seem to be doing our children a severe misservice by the way that we're running society right now. And if changes don't happen, it's only going to get worse, in my opinion.
Right.
With a little lighthearted, back to the roots of the show, shit we love to talk about.
That shit you love to talk about. Oh, yay! Woo! And by yay woo, I mean, aww. Fuck. Anyway.
The tuning on that, Doctor.
Doctor!
First video, Doctor. Now you know what we're doing over here.
Quick, do some rest. Just kidding. Anyway, so a bit of a follow-up to a previous news story from forever ago at this point.
Rewind.
Dr. Disrespect comes back to streaming this past week after the controversy. Last time we reported on how he had to quit his company. Last time we reported on how Twitch people came out and said that he was... Did they say that he was sexting?
Yes.
They literally said that? Okay, so yeah, they said he was sexting a minor. And then Dr. Disrespect himself replied to that tweet with saying no wrongdoing was done, and then came out with his own tweet when he saw that possibly he saw the company's tweet, and he said that he was going to leave the company and that he had inappropriate language with a minor or something.
Yeah.
Turns out he came out saying his side of the story when he came on stream, and that was pretty awesome. That was very brave of him.
Honestly.
I feel like a lot of people are scared to do that these days.
Yeah. I mean, either way, even if it ended up not being a good look for him, it still takes guts to come out and not have just the narrative be entirely your enemy.
That's, if you can say your story, it makes it feel like maybe what you're saying is true.
For sure.
If you just go along with what people are saying, then you did it. You know. Anyway, he is the two-time. He's no chicken. He's no coward. He's gonna come fire shots. Anyway, he had a lot to say about the Twitch ban and like the legality of all that and like the story behind it. I really wanted to focus on how, I guess, the legality of what he did and how what he did wasn't illegal. As you said before, we were talking about this before the episode. You said your punditry or whatever last time that if something illegal had been done, he'd be in jail.
Yes.
And as he said when he came back, he said that it wasn't like a minor. It was someone that was the age of consent wherever they were, which implies the person is under 18. But it implies that they're over the age of consent, whatever that means, in whatever state or country they're in.
Yeah.
He said he likes to engage with his community. I think that's awesome. Engage with your community.
Pretty normal thing to do.
And get ideas, talk to fellow creators. But like now, like I feel like there's this stigma or whatever that you can't just if you are trying to, if a minor tries to contact you, anyone under the age of 18, even if it's in good faith, just don't even talk to them.
No, not worth it.
Apparently you can't even talk to them anymore.
No.
Just don't like this was like 2016 or 2017 when he did this, when the actual whispers happened. The ban happened in 2020, but the whispers were way back. So it was a little bit different back then.
For sure.
You know, the times were different. He probably didn't feel
Ask Cody
weird
Co
about it.
that.
Huh?
Ask Cody Co about
Yeah, ask
that.
Cody Co about that. He didn't. That's even worse. Wait, he didn't.
I disagree.
What?
Oh, keep going with the doc stuff.
Okay, well, he didn't feel bad about talking to the minor at the time, but yeah, there might have been some inappropriate jokes, kind of like the Ava Chris Tyson stuff.
Or at least how that started.
Well,
that got bad then.
No. What we reported on when we talked about that, the situation you talked about at the end about that person that came to live with them, that was fucked up. But remember that the other guy was at Lava?
Oh yeah. Okay,
Like,
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like talking online with a minor and a little bit inappropriately with inappropriate jokes here and there. You shouldn't do that. But I mean, in this situation, Lava was hired by Mr. Beast's company to be a Discord mod or whatever. We don't know what the relationship between Dr. Disrespect and this person was. They could have, they weren't in a professional relationship probably.
No.
So the inappropriate jokes might be a little bit more okay because it's not professional. But even then, you shouldn't joke with people that aren't your peers like that.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about that.
Yeah, it's also just one of these things where it's such a nebulous kind of gray zone. I talked with other friends about this. It's like if you develop a certain rapport with your coworkers, you might make kinds of jokes that you certainly wouldn't make when you started a job, let alone in front of like your boss or let alone in front of a client, perhaps. Like,
Yeah.
would it still be inappropriate to make those jokes with your close work buddies? Of course it would be inappropriate to let's say make jerk off jokes at your workplace. That's the definition
At the
of
water cooler.
That's inappropriate, but because you've established this rapport, it's okay in context. Being okay in context doesn't remove that it is de facto inappropriate.
Right, because if someone didn't have that rapport with you, that's sexual harassment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like this gray areas that talk about low trust society. We have low trust workplaces now too.
Yeah.
And honestly, low trust socialization. It's just almost never for the problems you can get into. It's almost never worth the fun you could have palling around. No one can be you're not allowed to be friends anymore, except with us. Be friends with us, please.
I'll tell you what, at my workplace, it's totally different. Like, people say a lot of shit. Anyway.
Yeah, like a normal pre-2016 style workplace.
Yes.
The Me Too era has been awful, and the post-Me Too era, buddy, it's getting worse.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to focus on that because from the tweets and everything, I really thought Dr. Disrespect was diddling kids.
Yeah, it was suspect.
It seemed like he wanted to. Now, I don't see it that way at all. After what he said, it feels like a nothing burger. I mean, not really. It's a little bit of something, but the fallout that it's had is terrible for him.
Yeah.
Lots of people lost their jobs, and then it felt like Twitch was doing a pointed attack on him to get that ban. Because the whispers happened in 2017, and yet the ban comes in 2020 because of this Twitch partner manager supposedly wanting to do something.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into all that, but you know.
Yeah, the whole, to me, it really comes down to what the story is now, is they found a way that people would accept them essentially canceling his contract to open up salary cap for other streamers that they would rather have had. He pointed out that...
Oh, yeah, they're the people
Yeah,
that
he
came back
pointed-
from Mixer.
Yeah, he pointed out it's no surprise that when fucking Ninja and Shroud left Mixer, then I immediately get banned, and all of a sudden Twitch has money to give Shroud and Ninja. Think about that, and then think about all the other people who have done worse stuff on stream than me that are still partnered. He wouldn't name names, which gentlemanly move. I don't think people deserve gentlemanly behavior. at
He
this
actually
point.
didn't name Ninja and Shroud either. He just named people from Mixer. That's what he said.
But he did it in such a way.
When you know.
He did it in such a way that, I mean, it was big news. It was just like world news when that happened.
Yeah.
So the legal issue of...
I do miss Mixer, though.
They found it was good.
Way better competitor than Kick.
But yeah, they found this really backhanded, sleazy way of being able to shuffle around their money at his expense, like breaking legalities. And, you know, all business is shady and shitty, but we should aspire to a more honest world, however fruitless it may be in the now, that our world could be better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe more will develop on that. Regardless, Doc's back. If you like him, good for you. If you didn't like him or didn't care, this also changes nothing for you. But
It's just internet drama. I love it.
Yeah,
I
we
eat
talked-
it up.
talked about it before. Got to talk about it again.
And that
Speaking
kind
of somebody that we've talked about before.
we have to. Oh, you have talked about it, haven't we? But yeah, there's some big internet drama. A historical moment on the internet has happened. Are you not aware? Are you not entertained? Nikado Avocado, #1 on YouTube trending the other day for a video called 2 Steps Ahead.
Now, is this because he's going to AA or whatever the version is for food?
No, I don't think so. But so he had a speech when he was fat. Oh, I kind of ruined it there. But he was really fat, and he had the Joker makeup on, and he says, "I'm always 2 steps ahead. You guys are like little ants on an ant farm, and I'm watching you consume." He said that same speech in this video, but he changed it up a little bit. But guys, he's fucking skinny now. What the fuck happened?
We stan a skinny legend.
But like, how did he do it? Is my question. How do you go from being fat and then all of a sudden you're skinny?
Well, you take 2 years of nobody seeing you for real. He was,
Are you saying he pre-recorded 2 years of content?
yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even saying that. He said that in all the shit that came out. He focused specifically on a 7-month period of pre-recording. He's like, you guys haven't seen anything of me at the time, like, of recording in at least 7 months. So, you know, it's certain. I'm certain. So the amount of weight that this guy had to lose, right?
He said
And then-
he said 250 pounds.
and then to still look like this, even over a 2-year period, I imagine in the past 7 months that some surgical tweaking, some cosmetic finishing touches had to be involved. But then, as somebody who has had a personal fascination with like just weight and business and physical health, like it doesn't hold really any of the hallmark signs too much of dramatic weight loss like that. So,
Right.
yeah, but it happened over 2 years. He's had like 2
He had
years.
some loose skin.
He's had like
So.
2 years of canned footage and.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, and he came back. He did a mukbang after he finished his speech. I was blown the fuck away. Like everyone for the longest time has been saying, Nikado Avocado, you're overweight, you're not healthy, you're gonna die, and what the like it is. Oh my god, dude, this guy is 2 steps ahead. He's had something planned, I think. Like, and you know, I found out he went to Juilliard's. This guy is not some sort of amateur YouTuber. This guy knows what he's doing.
What's a Juilliard's?
Juilliard? I don't know the school.
The Juilliard.
Juilliard.
Okay.
What was Juilliard?
I thought I was about to learn about a new thing.
Juilliard, the school for artists.
Yes.
It's like the MIT of art.
It's better. No, it's like if there was an MIT of MITs, it's next level. Like
Juilliard is now going to claim Nikata Avocado. They're going to be like, that was our guy. That's one of our alumni.
I mean, part of his early identity is an influencer. God, I hate that word. But like his violin playing was a big part of that. Like super solid musician, and
Yeah.
apparently super solid in a lot of other ways.
Super
too.
solid actor. Dude,
Yeah.
like if this has all been a ploy this whole time, holy shit.
Yeah, I do want to put a pin on something you said,
Yeah.
or that people were saying about him. I'm not saying this is your claim.
Sure.
I want to stress that it is not clear yet, just because he hasn't shared, I think, any of his like actual medical details. This isn't him being healthy. He's not necessarily healthy just because he lost all his weight. There still could be like a ton of permanent damage that he did to himself.
Sure, but he looked okay. He didn't look unhealthy.
So,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, health, beauty might be skin deep, but health starts inside.
No, I know, but say like he didn't look sickly or anything.
It's,
You know.
I really wanted to slip that line, and I was sitting on that
I got
line.
you. Disclaimer. He might be dying still.
Specifically, the turn of phrase. I've been like holding that one in my brain.
The beauty
Since I saw the thing come out, like beauty might be skin deep, but health is not. Oh, that's a banger. So wish it would add a little more room to breathe, but
Sorry, say it again.
now I've rhetorically jacked off.
No, say it again. Say it again.
The moment's passed.
No, look, say it again.
Beauty might be skin deep, but health's not.
Awesome. Okay, anyway, all right, so great one. Doctor. It's just insane to me that, like, Nikata Avocado is just always, and now he's just like, I've been doing this whole time. I'm the villain, and then he's like, let me eat some black bean noodles on stream of this video. Like, what is going on, dude?
Mr. Avocado.
And so I was watching the Asmongold reaction to it, and he compared it. Someone talked about Chris Chan, and which we talked about last week, so I feel like this is appropriate. He said this would be like if Chris Chan actually was a crypto investor, that it was like a $10 million like millionaire, like just a millionaire, and he bought Nintendo and Sega and made Sonichu into a real video game. That is the equivalent to this Nikata Avocado skinny reveal.
Amazing.
I don't know how you feel about that. I think it's pretty funny.
That's a funny thing to say. I
Like
think
if Chris Chan was actually a crypto guy and like had a bunch of money and bought Nintendo.
actually the creator of Bitcoin. Turns out I was Satoshi Nakamoto the whole time. Which, fun fact, Satoshi Nakamoto, the name of the anonymous Bitcoin founder.
Well, you named him, so he's no longer anonymous.
Well, we don't know his actual identity. We've never seen his face. But those two Japanese words, they can be translated into English as Central Intelligence. Bitcoin actually CIA. Y'all were fools. I was a fool. I even fell for it.
Damn.
But I digress. No, that is a very funny
That's true.
lens to put it through. I want to say, if this was so planned, if he was so 2 steps ahead, tell me exactly how does selling pics of your asshole factor into this master plan? What's the genius twist on that, Nick?
Money?
I mean, people thought it, so...
Who the fuck would buy that? Holy shit. I just think that is a...
Who's jacking off to this? It's not me.
It's not me.
Maybe it's you.
Would you like more pics?
There's a lot more where that came from.
Oh, man. But that's just a historical moment. Nikata Avocado coming out as actually skinny is insane.
Truly.
Never in my life did I think I would see that.
Lord, are we eating good off that news?
Yeah, dude. That was a shock. Holy shit. I was shocked.
Well, well. It's like finding water. Well, well, well. Aquifers.
Well. I don't. You said enough at that point when you said that.
What a way to cap off a statement. Aquifers.
Yeah. Lovely. The Romans. Oh, sorry. That's an aqueduct.
Quack, quack.
What the fuck is an aquifer?
It's it's what you tap into to make a well.
Aquifer is that little pocket of water.
It's an underground water reservoir.
Yeah. Aqueduct is like the sewer system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I look stupid now. Say something to make me look smart.
Brother, after your bungling of the heat vision, night vision situation, I can't make you look smart.
Fuck you!
You gotta
Fuck you!
You gotta dig yourself out of that.
You know that my reasoning was good on that.
I gave you a shovel, and you said I'm going down.
You had a dumbass. You had. Boy.
Hey,
Night vision would be way better for me in my current life.
okay, spicy take, but I respect it.
I guess if the world's going to shit, I'll need that thermal so I can find the geese and
Hell yeah.
cats in the street.
We can do like thermal vision. Makes me think of Predator. We can do the Predator high five real quick. You know that one?
No, no, that one.
It's it's like the meme. It's the grasping thing.
That's from Predator?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot. I've seen that movie, but I don't remember that.
So
What's
look
about that? Am I the black guy and you're Arnold, or am I Arnold? and you're the black guy?
I think you get to be the cool one.
Nice.
So
Interpret that you're on your own.
I just did a liberal style racism.
Ooh. 10 points to Gryffindor.
Well, that's a shot at liberals, brother. How about you? Shot apart.
Oh man, I thought you'd never fucking ask. Guys, whoa! Twitch.tv/Seth_Nacho411. Check it out if you're fucking cool, because we're streaming Mondays and Tuesdays.
That's right.
It's a good time. Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
Where are we at on the ladder right now?
What does that mean?
Like, are you running ranked on streams at all?
There's no rank in that game. Like a rank mode. Like a competitive.
Well, I guess what I'm actually referring to is like, are you leveling up? Are you winning, son?
I mean, I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's really about how just having fun. You know, I'm just trying to have fun.
Oh, I could have sworn you were gonna. But speaking of DVD, how was Frank Stone?
I haven't. So I thought about playing it on stream, and so many people have already done it that I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it on stream.
Yeah, but we didn't see you do it.
Yeah, I know. I've been playing it off stream.
Oh no!
I didn't play that much of it. I played the first part, and holy shit, I played it on the hardest difficulty. And there's a part where you have to like tap a button. Oh my god! Like, how do they expect me to tap the square button that hard? Like maybe on like an old school Nintendo controller I could tap it that hard, but on a PlayStation controller, Jesus, dude! I finally got it after like 3 or 4 tries when it kept giving it to me, but it doesn't really like. If you fuck it up, I don't know, man. Like the game is weird, but it's cool.
All right.
It's definitely an homage to Dead by Daylight because there's a lot of sound effects and there's like skill checks in the game and stuff. It's kind of interesting.
Well, hell yeah.
But it's cool. Secondly, parting shot. The internet is forever changed now because of Nikado Avocado.
Yeah.
It was already changed because of what he did in the first place. Now it's definitely changed now. I don't know what's going to happen now.
The bar's been raised.
The bar has been raised, dude. Step your game up, Mr. Beast.
Well, right on. As for me, you already know, it's your boy, Doug Bennett. Living, thriving, wildin' on X.com, the everything platform. Come check it out. Do a lot of takes. I've been able to do a lot of discourse. Paid off in a big way being on there. I was able to help share the legacy of AppleRankings.com this week. That was my most popular post.
We said we'd never mention them again.
But I had to. It's not about them. It's about me.
I'm waiting on my fucking hat. Go ahead.
So that's where you can find me if you want more. Also, watch this space. It's a project in its infancy that will come to fruition in the coming months that I think everyone's going to be really excited for. So I'm going to start teasing that now. In terms of parting a shot, really just blows my mind that people willingly forego super awesome things in the name of bigotry. I'm specifically talking about the Steam woke detector community. Someone recently got their hands on the Google Doc that holds all of their opinions on all of these Steam games, and they'll tell you not to play a game just because it subtly hints at pro-LGB, messaging.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're really not going to play Dark Souls because one of the storylines that you have to read item descriptions to even find out is that the evil king force-femmed his son.
Yeah, isn't there something about Bloodborne with that?
Well,
It's about like a
Well,
woman or
Bloodborne's
something.
interesting because the whole game is kind of about motherhood, honestly.
Yeah, and yet people are like, no, it's not. It's about fucking kicking a dude and whatever. And it's like, no, that's just what you do in the game. The actual game is about.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's tiers of it. If you only look at Bloodborne surface level analysis, it is entirely about the hunt. And then if you're like, but why are we hunting? What's happening in the world around us? And you actually start... You can't tell me that the game isn't at least a little bit about motherhood when some of the most important collectibles in order to unlock endings are pieces of an embryo. Like, come on, you cannot be that dense. Or you can't be that dense and expect me to take you seriously. So anyway, just feel about things how you're going to feel about them, and don't let them change your opinion if you want to believe a certain way, but like don't let bigotry stop you from enjoying otherwise really cool stuff. It's like my appeal to bigoted people of the world. Hey, you're fucking missing out. No one says you have to like it, but you're missing out. So, that's weird. I don't know how I feel. That feels very milquetoast. That feels very we need a deal of me, but that's the world we live in now, right?
I thought it was a good opinion.
Anyway, other good opinion is the stuff that you always should do. So I leave you with this. Carry water, chop wood, and most importantly, Xiao Hongshu.